Okay, in this part of the video, I just want to show you basically the last video, just with a lot more x values and a lot more y values showing up here. So what I've done is I've loaded up a new x vector that's got 100 values in it. If we take a look at it, there's a whole bunch of them right there, and they run between -10 and 10. And what we want to do is plot some points for them. So I'm going to start the exact same way. I will plot my red line there, which is going to be x minus 1. I've got my x values already loaded up, and so I need to get my y values from this. Now, the faster way to do this than what I was doing in the past two videos is actually just to have y be assigned the values x minus 1 there. So I will do that, and I will plot them, and you'll see I got a whole bunch of points showing up there. There's about 100 of them there. Actually, there's exactly 100 of them. And so what I want to do now is add some of these errors to them. So I just want to see what it looks like when we have these errors added on there. So I'm going to use the exact same thing I did before and shift things off using the rnorm function. That'll give me 100 randomly selected normal values. And so I'm going to load that up. And just so you can see what they look like, because I'm not going to plot them on top of that line yet, I'm going to make a histogram out of them. And if we look, what you'll notice is you get something that looks kind of normal. It's centered at 0, and it's got some kind of a spread there. In fact, it spreads right about 0.5, because that's what I had loaded up there. And so what I'm going to do now is actually add those to my y values. So I shift them off, and then I'm going to need to hide this, and I'll rerun the whole thing here. And so you'll see the blue dots, they're shifting off a bit from the line. And again, just like the last one, if I go ahead and I change the standard deviation, they tend to scatter off a lot more. And in this case, I'm going to run it again. I'm going to hide the line, and I'm going to hide these points here. And you'll notice I just kind of get what looks like a mess sitting there, so you don't really see much of a pattern. If I take the standard deviation and I reduce that a bit, start getting what looks like a straight line pattern showing up. If I reduce this more, I get more of a pattern. If I reduce it more, I get more of a pattern showing up that looks like a straight line. But indeed, even when this is nice and big, where did they come from? They came from having this line running through them, and then I shifted them off of that line using this error vector here by adding or subtracting the values that show up in that error. Okay, so that's how I can use that rnorm and shift off a lot more points there for us.